Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to talk about the E36 and kind of how it got to the point it's at, where the project's going, where I'm at in the project, and just in general, like what kind of parts and stuff are even going on with the car. So I got the car a few years ago as just a shell. It was up on cinder blocks. Someone else had bought it from a person who blew the head gasket, and their plan was to also do a 5.0 swap. But I got the car, I got the mounts for doing the 5.0 swap, I got a junkyard motor, 2 T5s, and a bunch of miscellaneous parts with the car. So after that point, I took all the stuff and started kind of putting it together, but for the most part, it pretty much, nothing had really been done except for pulling stuff out. So that's the original junkyard motor over there. That thing ended up lasting around, I don't know, 1,000 miles or so, and I just ate a bunch of bearings in it. So after I ate a bunch of bearings in that, I took the car back apart, and I'd said, since it was already Megasquirt, TKO 600, stuff like that, if I blew the motor, I was going to go dart block. So now what I have in here, which is kind of hard to see, but that is a dart block 347 in there. Built components and all sorts of stuff like that. It's rated for around, well, what it's rated by Dart is different than what people say they're rated for. Dart rates it around 700 horsepower, but other people rate around 1,000. So I got that going on with I have a trickflow top end kit, which is the trickflow 170 heads. That's the track heat intake. And I had that on my 302. It's a little small for the 347 technically, but it shouldn't be an issue because it's going to be getting force fed by the turbo. The turbo is a 78-76 Turbonetics ball bearing with a .96 AR. The intercooler is just a generic like CX Racing that this size happened to work for the car. This is a Jegs aluminum 2-core radiator. As you can see, it's got both the supply and the return on the same side. That was because the turbo's on the other side, so I wasn't able to use a traditional Ford. This is the power steering reservoir. You can see kind of where all the wiring's been done in here. I've got my horn, coil pack. These are all the gauge senders. These are aftermarket depot headlights where I put Umnitza angel eyes into them. As I said, there's a lot of mods in this car. This is going to be kind of a random video just because there's so much stuff done to the car. I'm kind of just trying to give you an overview of what's been done. So I guess I'm just going to try and work from where I'm standing back through to the back of the car. So I have, let's see, I did lights, obviously the motors, all that sort of stuff. I've got 72-pound injectors. This is a Kirkin or Kerbin fuel regulator. BBK throttle body. It's a 70-something millimeter. This is a CP Racing adjustable thermostat housing, BMW power steering pump on a custom bracket. I have the strut tower strengtheners in here. Plus I have Vorschlag camber plates going on. On the underside, it's I guess you can't see in there, but Bilstein PSS 9s on there. Down where the mower mount's attached, those parts of the front subframe are completely reinforced. There's that. The rear subframe, I've showed you guys that on a different video. This is a Bowler performance filter. It fits behind that headlight, which is awesome. Inside that is my Megasquirt. These are some 1 3/4 stainless steel headers on there. I've got AN8 fuel lines, as you can see, kind of coming up right here. So on the bottom of my motor, I have a Canton oil pan, which also has a windage tray and scraper built into the Canton oil pan. All ARP hardware everywhere throughout the motor and stuff. And as we move on back into the cab, I have gauges all over the place. The cab's kind of torn apart right now just because of where I'm at with the project, but as you can see, I got my gauges, stuff cut into the cluster. Down there, that's an ASD hydro. This is the shift lever for the TKO, so that drops right in stock location. As you can see, TKO sitting right there, popping through the hole, so that all works. I have the sunroof delete, so that's just the metal card welded back up in place. In the back, there's a Walbro 400 liter per hour pump in that side, stock pump in this side, and I have a video where I describe what's going on with the two different fuel pumps. Then moving on to the back of the car, that's just the box for my Turbonetics turbo. We've got the rear strut base going across the back. Underneath, I've done all the M subframe stuff, so I have all the reinforcements for the rear subframe that I've installed. You can see there's the PSS9s, there's a spring for it. Also, no rust on the frame or anything. Then you can see that's a reinforced one of the Turner Motorsport aftermarket plates. The rear axles are going to get swapped out for drive shaft shop rear axles. So yeah, that's kind of a brief overview of what's been done to this thing. I've done all the work on it myself, except for pretty much just mounting tires and getting alignment done. I've done everything on it. It's got 20% tints on the car. It drives, well, it drove well. Oh, I didn't make the drive shaft either. That was made by a drive shaft shop. That's fairly obvious. So yeah, that's a brief overview of what's going on. At this point, to drive this car, it pretty much just needs to have the rear subframe put in, some axles made up, and it's pretty much good to go at that point. So keep watching and you'll get to see more fun stuff with it. And now that I've done this intro vid, I will start putting out other videos with the BMW. So hope you guys enjoy, and there we go.